Good morning, everyone. If I can get your attention. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to get the program underway. I'm Shannon Cole, the president of the Fox Cities Chamber of Commerce, and want to give you a warm welcome and also a tremendous thank you for everyone being in attendance. As Kip mentioned, we have the privilege of having over 650 of you with us today, which is the largest attendance we've ever had in the Economic Outlook Breakfast. So I just said to John, no pressure as our keynote speaker, but don't screw it up. A couple things to start with. The agenda for the day, I'm going to give you a little bit of outlook just on our organization and what the Chamber is working on, as well as what the partnership has been looking at. Larry's going to continue with that. And then he's going to give you, as Kit mentioned, the overview of the local economy based upon over 200 businesses that we surveyed. And then John will join us for the national perspective and tying it all into our regional economy. But first, let me thank again our sponsors. We couldn't do events like this without the tremendous support of our sponsors. And the four sponsors that were mentioned, and I'll mention again, have been tremendous sponsors and supporters, not only of our organization, but of the community as a whole. So as our presenting sponsor, Associated Bank, thank you for all that you do for the community, for all that you do for us. We're really, really appreciative of that support. SBA Certified Public Accounts is our premier sponsor. SBA has been a longtime sponsor of the Chamber in numerous different programs, and we really appreciate their support. Coldwell Banker, the real estate group, as well as Whitley CPAs and Consultants are our contributing sponsors. These are also two companies that are truly helping drive the economy here in the local community. And we've had numerous volunteers from these two organizations that have helped us with by volunteering time, in addition to the critical financial resources that we need. So to all of our sponsors, thank you again for your tremendous support. We want to thank the Radisson for all the great work that they do. We do a lot of work with them when we have groups like this. We love our partnership with the Radisson and thank them for their staff and their team, as well as for my internal chamber team. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to get us ready for events like this. Susan Van Hool is our lead on this event for logistics, but Larry and his team put together all of the content, and so we're I'm very, very blessed and very lucky to have such a professional staff internally working on the betterment of all of you. So as we look a little bit of an outlook for us as an organization, this gives me an opportunity to share with you just a few of the things that we're working on based upon the needs that are out there in the community. So the mission of the Chamber, very simple, promoting growth and prosperity. We keep it simple on purpose. But what we're finding is with that mission, we're finding that it's ever changing as far as demand. So just like many of your companies and the companies that you serve, you're seeing tremendous growth opportunities. We are as well. We're seeing an ever-changing need for solution-based strategies, a lot more challenges for companies that are looking at expanding here in the region, as well as our ability to attract new companies in. So we have a continued focus on three major pillars. The first of that is economic development, and you'll hear from Larry on the regional partnership. We're now in year number 3 of the Fox Cities Regional Partnership, really narrow focused on attracting new primary employers to the region and helping our existing primary employers expand. Primary employers, you'll hear us talk about that. Those are companies that generate over 50% of their revenue outside of the region, which then funnel new wealth back into the region, allowing all of our professional services companies and whatnot to generate business here. As we continue to focus on that economic development piece, a piece that's probably the #1 issue that we talk about now is talent. No surprise to anyone in the room. Our ability to attract, retain, and develop talent in a place where it's really, really stiff competition for talent and is only going to get more challenging. Talent crosses over everything we do in economic development, everything we do with small business development, with our advocacy programs. So we're very focused on creating solutions to help you answer your talent challenges. And then our final piece is our member services piece. What's been really interesting about the chamber in the 4 years that I've been here has been, when I was recruited for the job, it was we need to focus on some economic development, creating more growth within our community, and we really made whether it was a conscious decision or not, to focus on it being a business growth organization, yet we have a serious and critical membership component. We have people that now are involved in our organization that aren't necessarily members of the organization, but they support us through numerous different investments, whether it be through sponsorships, through economic development. Our membership component is still a very critical part of what we do. We have 1,100 companies that are members of the organization, and with that, their needs are changing. So they need much more of a customized approach, a stronger value proposition around how are we helping them specifically grow their company. So what that's allowed us or challenged us to do is be extremely innovative. Innovative in the programs that we're developing, prioritizing the needs of what our companies are looking for. And I just returned from a conference in New Orleans that brings together once a year about 50 chamber leaders from across the country that are our size chambers. Most of them have economic development encompassed with their organization as well. And what we're finding is that I was happy to be the fact that 2 of our programs were showcased as kind of national trends or new innovative practices for chambers. I'll touch on just a couple of them. One of them is the IT program that we're doing with the collaboration that we have with New North, and a lot of work that we're focusing on, that there's some significant gaps in IT and engineering talent here. So we actually in April have a new program that we're going to launch. We're working with 17 of the area universities, so universities within 5 hours driving distance here. We're putting IT and engineering students on a bus and bringing them here for a 3-day immersion into the Fox Cities. One thing we're learning about the millennials is they're choosing where to live first and then where to work second. So we need to make sure that we are that place that they choose as to where they want to live. So this allows them to come in, we're going to do an amazing race with them to our different assets, yet they're still going to tour the companies that have IT and engineering needs so that they can see the culture of those companies, the leadership within those companies. So that's one example of an innovative program. The other is a concierge program that we've kicked off and now are fully implementing, where our companies are saying we're having a tough time attracting top-level talent from outside of the area. So we're doing what the chamber does best, and it's helping to connect people to the community. So our companies now are engaging with us. We're reaching out to these individuals and asking them, what are you looking for? What do you need to succeed in this region? How do we duplicate your existing quality of life? We're hearing everything from, my son is a quarterback of the football team, he's a junior in high school, I want to meet the top 3 football coaches in the region, to career connections for the trailing spouse, nonprofit opportunities. So this concierge program is truly one of the great stories that we have. We had a young doc, an affinity doc, a young doc that was recruited to the area, mid-30s, single. The affinity brought her on in last year, December, and about February, they thought, oh, I don't know if she's connecting real well, we may lose her. And so what we did was we connected with her quickly and got her engaged in the interests that she had. By May, she went back to her supervisor and said, this program single-handedly saved me from leaving this community, and I now want to help recruit other docs into the region. So it's those types of very customized approaches where she said to us, no one really cared about me in the past, the company wanted me here, but now I feel as though the community actually wants me here. So those are a couple major talent ones that we're working on. We still have a very strong tie with education. Our K-12 partnerships are very strong. We have with not just the Appleton district, who is here today, but with all 11 districts in our region. We've created, with the help of Omni Resources, new software that very easily, if you want to speak in a classroom, or you would offer an internship or a job shadow to a student, it talks to your Outlook calendar now. You can quickly connect and you can speak in classrooms in all 11 different districts based upon your interest and your availability. So we're really seeing the need for the work that the Chamber has around creating connections and innovative programs. There's an ever more demand for that. As it relates to economic development, Larry's going to touch more on this, but it's amazing to me to see with the 5,000 economic development organizations that are out there, how competitive the field is. And as I said, I just came back from this conference, many of which have economic development within their program of work. And one of the gentlemen, I was talking about some of the challenges that we're facing here as being a fairly new organization, building the level of awareness as to why we need to invest in economic development and why together we need to support economic development. And he said, well, candidly, it's actually okay. As long as you guys continue to not do it, we'll just continue to eat your lunch. So they have a very organized, very developed program. It's something that we have a very strong goal of building the level of awareness around, not only the regional partnership and the work we do here, but the work that New North does as a whole, and why we need to, even though we've been very successful in the past, we've also become a little bit complacent. So how we need to move that into action and continue to get the jobs that we want here in this community. So the overall outlook from our members, and you'll hear a lot more of this from Larry, extremely strong as far as demand for a lot of growth. It puts a lot of pressure on us because we need to continue to acquire the necessary resources for us to do the work that we're doing. But we also have a strong need for prioritization. You can imagine